Well, holy shit. Chris Jericho, Kenny Omega, Wrestlekingdom 12. What the fuck? I haven't stopped thinking about this since I heard, which was about an hour ago. And I honestly can't get over it. I'm in shock. I'm literally in shock. For those of you who haven't been following the story, these two guys, obviously Omega and Jericho, have been going back and forth on Twitter for the past couple of weeks with jabs and insults, just going back and forth, general pointless stuff. It was clearly a worked angle. Most of us know that they're quite good friends. Both from obviously Canada, both from Winnipeg, I believe, actually. And me included, I don't know what other people thought, but I didn't actually think it would turn into a matchup. I thought it was just general talking shit, if I'm being honest. But literally just announced it's official. Alpha versus Omega, as Chris Jericho puts it, for Wrestlekingdom 12. Let's talk about, in fact, before we talk about anything, let's get the negatives out of the way, which for me, there aren't any, but for a lot of people I've seen, they're picking negatives out of the fact that New Japan are recruiting WWE superstars. Let's not just just Chris Jericho as a WWE superstar. A lot of people are saying that New Japan don't need WWE superstars. They don't need this sort of talent brought in to build up their promotion. That's bullshit. As much as New Japan are getting bigger and bigger and better, this is such a great move. This is such a phenomenal move for them. I think the match that I was kind of looking forward to at Wrestlekingdom 12 was Omega versus Ibushi, which would have been a phenomenal match. This match, Omega versus Jericho, will by no means be the best match on the card. Might get 5 stars. It definitely won't go into the 6-star boundaries of a card or Omega, but it'll still be a good match. The fact is, it's the match. It's the match that seems to have done something that I'm thinking anyway. New Japan subscribers are going to go through the roof on January 4th, that weekend. I guarantee I'm going to be one of those. I currently don't subscribe to New Japan. I am going to be subscribing for Wrestlekingdom 12, I guarantee it, just to see not only that match, but the rest of the card. I mean, so far I think we've got announced, obviously Jericho versus Omega, Okada versus Naito in the final, in the main event. The Fatal 4-Way just got announced. Marty Scurll defending the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship against Ospreay, Kushida and Tanahashi. Already, that sounds so good. So good. I'm literally so excited. The other negative that I've seen people saying is the whole worked angle. A lot of people talking a lot of shit about the fact that they built this online. Who cares? You know what? My response to any critique about this booking: who gives a shit? Honestly, who gives a shit? I cannot think of any negatives. This is such a great move for New Japan Pro Wrestling. They could have gone down the route of Omega Ibushi or any other match for Omega, and it would have been probably a better match. There were better match options for Ibushi in terms of match quality. However, if they'd gone down that route, they'd just got the same reaction they did from Wrestlekingdom 11, which was, these guys can put on a show. That's cool. Subscribers went up for Wrestlekingdom 11, and then they came back down. This move is not a wrestling move. This move is a promotion move, and it's a bloody great one. What I have seen is some speculation on what might be involved for WWE, as I was under the impression that Jericho was still under some kind of contract with the WWE. We saw him in the main event of SmackDown only a couple of months back against Chris Jericho, against Kevin Owens and AJ Styles for the US title. And we're kind of waiting on a return of Chris Jericho almost. We knew it wasn't going to be for a while, but we thought it was coming. Now it's kind of up in the air, and a lot of people, or that I've seen, are speculating on what this means. One particular speculation is that it's a move of, if we give you Chris Jericho for Wrestlekingdom 12, Kenny Omega signs with the WWE later on in the year. Now that's complete and utter speculation. I don't know if there's any truth to that, but that sounds like an exciting prospect, and a move that I believe they'd make. I think New Japan are bringing themselves into an area where people are now looking at them, a lot more people looking at them than before, and as up to now they've been kind of reserved and very kind of proud of where they've come from, and they still are, don't get me wrong, but now they're kind of tasting that limelight, and I feel like they can just grab it right now. And I genuinely think if they did trade this match for Kenny Omega down the line, it would do them more good than bad to lose Omega, but get those viewers in. I am so excited. The other doors that it opens up. I mean, what are the possibilities now? For ages now, I've been thinking about the prospect, frothing at the mouth of the prospect of an angle between WWE and New Japan Pro Wrestling, which up until this very minute, this very hour, felt completely impossible, completely irrational, and would never happen. Now, I'm not so sure. Dream matches that people are talking about, such as a future match between Bryan Danielson, obviously Daniel Bryan, and Kenny Omega. You know, they've had matches in the past on the indies, but now at the levels they both are, people want to see that match again. And again, up until now, I was thinking, nah, it's not going to happen. Now, I just don't know. There's so many possibilities now that seem to be open, and it's so exciting! Kenny Omega, Chris Jericho, Alpha vs Omega, January 4th, Wrestlekingdom 12. I can not wait.